Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling. We are playing our All Elite Wrestling save, and we are just not too far away. What are we? A couple of weeks away from our upcoming Revolution pay-per-view. 12 days, 2 more Dynamites. Some interesting things have been going on in the world of AEW in real life, and of course, as you know, some big signings happen. We like to replicate it. Not much bigger than this one in terms of size, and that's of course talking about the Big Show, Paul Wight. We did it, we signed him, we're gonna bring him in. I mean, I gotta say, I never saw this one coming. I did not expect this at all. I thought Big Show was gonna stay with WWE for life, but here he is. He's gonna join AEW. Now, here's the thing, in our save, of course, Big Show was retiring, but I figured he's not going to retire in real life, so why have him retire in our game? And one of the only reasons why he's retiring in the game is because he lost his contract. And one of the things TEW does is when someone loses their contract, they kind of get people, to retire. But Big Show's not retiring. He's now Paul Wight, and he's going to join AEW. So here's the deal: is Big Show going to come in, or as a heel, as a baby face? I don't know. I don't know. I think Big Show's best role is as a heel, and I don't think people would probably really care for Big Show as a babyface beyond 2, 3, 4 weeks max. So I think he's got to come in as a heel. 2-year contract. He won't wrestle in dark. I don't mind the thought process of having him as a color commentator. I actually think Big Show could be a pretty decent color commentator. In our game, I think he had 46 color commentary. I've actually bumped that up myself, and I've given him, 65, yes. So I bumped that up to 65 because I thought that was a little bit more appropriate. Because he's done some guest commentary, and he's been pretty good over the years. I have heard of him. I always thought Big Show had potential. I just think it's a little bit weird having a guy who's a freaking giant sitting at the desk. I think that's going to be a weird visual, but I suppose we'll get used to it. Nonetheless, Big Show's 48. We're going to start calling Paul Wight, don't we? Paul Wight's 48. 70 popularity. That's the benefit of having him join up. He's got popularity enough to put him as a main event, talent. He's got enough there. Now that's obviously a huge plus for us. So we can have him potentially work with a John Moxley if we really wanted to, or work with someone, put someone over, and he'll do a good job. So skills wise, he still has enough in the tank, I think, to do. I'm going to assume maybe a 65 rated performance. I don't know how that will be in a few months' time or 1 year's time, but I think there's still enough there from him to be able to perform decent. Let's just keep it at that. But nonetheless, he's joined up. He's going to have a giant gimmick. I think that's only fair. I don't think there really needs to be anything else. And yeah, we'll see how he goes. I mean, I really don't know how to book him because I just haven't had any thoughts at all at using him. So it's going to be a really weird adjustment. He's now officially part of the roster. He could debut on this next show. So I feel like we might debut him at Revolution. And yeah, go from there. I mean, in real life, I actually thought Shaq had a nice match with Cody Rhodes. Big Show, Paul Wight versus Shaq. Could we do it? Should we do it? Probably not. Probably wouldn't be a good idea, but yeah, I feel like it's going to happen at some point, right? If Shaq's going to have another match, he's going to have to versus Paul Wight, right? So yeah, I guess it's something to think about, but yeah, really odd one. And now, of course, Paul Wight is teasing that someone else major could be joining the company. Now that will either be two things, someone decent will sign. I don't expect it to be a major name, but the other thing could be Paul Wight just turning heel and being a prick and basically saying, hey, I'm the big star, I'm signing my contract live on Revolution, and going in that direction. That's, his heel turn. So that's probably the two different ways that scenario could go. I hope that actually it is someone signing a contract, because I would love to have an excuse to bring in another big name, just to beef up our roster a little bit. But nonetheless, let's have a look at where we're at. We're just a couple of weeks away from Revolution. Not too far away at all. FTR and the Hardys. So obviously Jeff Hardy was meant to be our big signing of the series. Now we've got Big Show as well, Paul Wight. So two guys, both at 70 popularity, both joining AEW at the same time. It's pretty good for us. It is very good for us. Now I kind of feel bad for getting Jeff Hardy, but FTR and Hardy should be a good contest. Inner Circle and the Young Bucks. It's not MJF and Chris Jericho, but it is Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, which I actually think will be a tremendous match. Moxley and Darby could be a good one. Kenny versus Cody. Miro Park, MJF and Sting. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be very interesting. Now, Sting might be worth having a look at his in-ring stats and kind of maybe adjusting them a little bit, because I was under the assumption that he couldn't take any bumps, he couldn't really work. Looks like he might be able to actually do a little bit more than we expected. So might be worth having a look at Sting and maybe adjusting him there. We might do a big battle royal or something like that just to get everyone on the card. Big Swole, Nyla Rose might be on the pre-show. Proud and Powerful, Jurassic Express. This so far hasn't lasted too long, but I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really high on Jurassic Express at the moment. I feel like there's just so much potential in Jungle Boy. He's got the new music now. Luchasaurus is okay. Marco Stunt, yes, he's not great at all. But I just think there's just something about Jungle Boy that really could transition to being a major star. So the package deal, I'm really looking forward to. Trying to build them up and get them to a point where, yeah, they are going to be, top tier guys. So that's the plan. Ricky Starks has beaten Matt Cardona twice now. We will end that storyline, and I think Matt Cardona is going to be released finally. He's lasted a lot longer than I expected. The Acclaimed Varsity Blondes, Dark Order. Yes, I don't really know what to do with these guys either. In real life, they're kind of, is Adam Page going to join? That's kind of where they're going. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We've got Redbeard in there at the moment. I've been thinking, originally the idea was Lance Archer, but now I like Lance Archer as a babyface from what I'm seeing in real life. So I don't know, I'm kind of maybe thinking a different direction there too. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Dark Order. That's why we're kind of just treading water and seeing what happens. And Thunder Rose and Britt Baker, that'll be for the Women's Championship as well. So now the other thing is obviously the women having a lot of the Japanese connection. Might be worth thinking about maybe bringing some of those women in, maybe for some one-offs or the occasional match, just to kind of switch things up a little bit as well. And speaking of women, we did decide to give Jade Cargill some wrestling stats. Now this is not from a mod maker, this is just me throwing some random stats at her, so they're probably pretty bad. I didn't give her that great of stats at all, just enough to maybe, if she had to have a match, she could do something, more maybe a squash match. I don't think she's that good in the ring at all. I think she needs a little bit more training. That's why we sent her to the Nightmare Factory to try and help her development along a little bit in that way. So, if we had house shows, that'd be a great way just to have her wrestle in house shows, gain more experience, get better. But unfortunately, all of our matches need to be rated, televised, and be important. So it's a little bit harder to kind of, get her going without really exposing her. So that's kind of where we're at there. But yeah, looks obviously, let's have a quick little look at our last show, Dynamite. 71 rated, Cody versus Carl Anderson main event, Hardy's in the Hybrid 2, Luchasaurus, Santana, Ricky Starks, Matt Cardona, and Park Scorpio Sky. So there's some good stuff there. This is a very heavy promo show that did really well. So a couple of weeks away. I feel like we might need to try and have another couple of good shows. Maybe at least the go home show, really go hard there. But I suppose for this next episode of Dynamite, just kind of analyze what needs to be done. We need a little bit more storyline heat for some of the storylines. Really go for it. And try and just get that last little bit of storyline development for everything there. So this might not be a great episode in terms of high match ratings or high show overall rating, but more so we'll try and maybe target just gaining some more storyline development and really kind of, wrapping up or getting our storylines prepared for the pay-per-view, I suppose you could say. So let's not mess around any longer. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So obviously AEW Dark. So of course, speaking of Paul Wight, AEW Elevation is one of the new shows that AEW are proposing. I'm not 100% sure if that's replacing Dark or if that's an extra show as well. I guess we'll find out very, very soon. They probably already know, I just haven't looked into it. But if that is a third show, that obviously gives us more shows we're going to book. Or it could be a replacement for Dark, and maybe we look to make Dark that little bit more of a a little bit more of a step up, which we already kind of do. The way that we book Dark, it's more of as a minor show rather than just a, throw guys on the card for no reason. So I don't think there'll be too much of a change to the way that we approach Dark. Maybe, but yeah. So Matt Hardy, I didn't know Matt Hardy was had Jungle Boy as his protege, but that's good. So helping him with his psychology, that's really, really good. So that is there. And then, of course, absent workers, Billy, Luther, Paul Wight, and Sting, all not available. So those guys, they're the current guys that are currently refusing to work the B shows, and that's all fair enough. They're all at an age where they probably shouldn't be. All Elite Wrestling Arena, let's go ahead and take a look at the results for Dark. On the pre-show, Best Friends versus The Initiative for 48, Trent 52, Chuck 48, Peter Avalon 38, and Cutler 36. Best Friends picking up the win. Yeah, Best Friends have been a little bit out of the mix for a while, so I figured time to try and start getting some wins. Time to start trying get their momentum back going a little bit again. Will Hobbs defeated QT Marshall for 39, Hobbs 42, Marshall 31. Yeah, Marshall hasn't really offered a lot, I feel, so again, Will Hobbs trying to get him over. It's been a tough slug, but I think we'll get him there eventually. So a win like this is not too bad. It's a decent match. Hopefully it'll help. Redbeard defeated Michael Nakazawa for 36. Redbeard 46, Nakazawa 27. Yeah, we did this match a few weeks ago. Figured, Redbeard needs another win. No one else really to take a loss here other than Nakazawa, so that's why we did that one. We opened up the show with FTR promising to retire the Hardys at Revolution. So we had Tully Blanchard doing majority of the talking here, and a 56 promo. So this promo hasn't quite delivered, and the promos in general in the feud haven't quite delivered, have they? So a little bit of an issue there. It made it a little bit difficult to really build this effectively, but nonetheless, 56, that's okay. It's made it pretty difficult, but we do need to fix Dax Harwood's gimmick as well. Bear Country was beaten by Proud and Powerful for 48. Proud and Powerful 59 apiece. Really good. Really, really good stuff. So that's pretty good. Proud and Powerful are a very strong, effective team. And they're actually going to do double duty here. So we've got Bear Country, Proud, Powerful. And we're going to do Jungle Boy against Santana in the main event. So, yeah, a bit of double duty. Normally we don't do that. But I wanted to kind of give them a win and also have them interact later on as well. So put the pressure on and see how they'll handle it. Cody Rhodes had an interview with Alex Marvez. So usually we don't have the main event guys on Dark, but I figured, look, we've got a time slot here. We need Cody to really deliver a big promo to try and boost up the feud. So we gave him a few minutes here to talk about his upcoming match with Kenny Omega for 82. Big Swole, Red Velvet, and Brandy Rhodes teamed up to take on Nyla Rose, Ivelisse, and Penelope Ford. The best in the match was Ivelisse for 42. Brandy as well got 42. Nyla Rose 30. So this was mostly done just to boost up Nyla Rose and Big Swole. A few women together on each side, just to kind of have them interact without having them go one-on-one, for example. A 41 rated match, not too bad. Ricky Starks cuts a promo bragging about how he's beaten Matt Cardona and sent him out of the company. That's how bad that he's beaten him. 50 rated promo in the end from Starks, pretty good. Jake Hager gets a workout video as we're hyping up his entry into the Battle Royal, 58 for that one. So pretty good from Jake Hager. He's not usually one who's done that well here in the company, whether it be matches or promos, but that's a good little segment there for him. In the main event, Jungle Boy versus Santana Ortiz, allowing Santana to cheat his way to a victory. So Santana and Ortiz get the one up here on Jungle Boy. 55 apiece in-ring performances from both guys for a 58 match. Big thumbs up all around. And it gives us a 53 rated episode of Dark. Alright, let's take a look at Dynamite. Alright, in the pre-show, Sean Spears airing his frustrations about his spot on the card. 43 for that one. So Sean Spears, not a bad little promo there from him. Spears has been pretty disappointing for us. I still don't have a lot for him. I'm trying to give him something here and there, but this is, kind of lets me down a lot. But this is a little bit better. This is okay. 43, not too bad. Chaos Project were beaten by the Butcher and Blade for 31. 20 and 26 for Chaos Project. 33 and 30 for the Butcher and Blade. And we also had Ray Phoenix versus Christopher Daniels for 65. Phoenix 71. Wow, so good. Daniels 47. Ray Phoenix picks up the win. We opened up the show with MJF challenging Sting to a match at Revolution. MJF is refusing to accept Sting's apology. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Instead, he wants to face Sting one-on-one. So Sting and MJF, the challenge has been set. I suppose next week we might have Sting accept it. Maybe they'll do something physical again. Maybe Sting hits him with a Scorpion Death Drop, something like that. But 90 rated promo here from MJF. So excellent stuff once again from MJF. Best Friends are in action against the Young Bucks. 78 rated match in the end here. Excellent. Matt and Nick were fantastic. 81 and 82. Chuck Taylor 53, Trent 56. Yeah, so look, we don't probably use the Young Bucks enough in a match, and I thought, okay, let's give them a match. I did not expect this sort of rating. Very, very good. 78. Kind of wish I had this advance the storyline because it was, so well done. Now, we did have this as a high spots match, so I'm going to have to assume that that really did help out quite a lot probably for both teams, I would say. Post-match, we had the Inner Circle ambushing and beating down the Young Bucks. So, pretty good stuff there. Matt Jackson's gimmick is getting stale. Sammy Guevara didn't quite perform well. And an 80 rated segment. So, that will gain the storyline heat for this one, which is good. So, Inner Circle beating down the Young Bucks just to kind of prove a point and just to let them know that, we're still the top dogs around here. Even though you guys are picking up wins and looking impressive, forget about that and start worrying about us. Miro cuts a promo and talks about why he attacked Lance Archer last week from behind and his plans for the TNT Championship match. 66, that's pretty good from Miro, actually. Not a bad promo. That's okay. Advancing the storyline. Good Brothers defeated Private Party for 57. Anderson 53, Gallows 52, Isaiah 50, Mark Quinn 47. Yeah, so I thought with the Good Brothers, good to get them back on TV, good to try and keep getting them some momentum. We're going to use these guys long term with Kenny, so I think we need to try and get them some wins, try and get their popularity up. So I thought we'll give them the Private Party, who are a very good team. They should have a good match and try and make the Good Brothers look pretty good. So we need to get rid of Don Callis as Carl Anderson's manager, so that needs to happen. Kenny Omega, though, cut a promo post-match, and he talked about how his new group is far better than the Elite. 84 rated promo, excellent stuff. So yeah, fair enough. He just kind of says, look at these guys. They're getting wins. They're doing it easy. They're dominating. This new group is the future. This is way better than the Elite. And 84 rated promo, who would argue with him? Park took on Matt Sydal for 70. Park, this is what we have been waiting for. My goodness. 74, yes. Now, did I do anything special for this match? No, it's just a regular match. Park just killed it. Matt Sydal was good too, 50. Yes, this is exactly what we need from Park. 74, this is what I was hoping that he'd be able to do. This is why I thought, yes, a new main event guy, Park could do it, but he's been underwhelming. This is what we need from him. If he can keep this up, then maybe the TNT title's needs to go around his waist. 70 rated match. Alright, so we had the Hardys and FTR in the ring, signing their contract for their upcoming match and promoing on one another as well. So I like this 70 rated segment, back and forth. Good opportunity for everyone to go back and forth on the mic here. Jeff Hardy invented a new catchphrase that will boost his ability on the mic. And now he has go-to line, so that's really very promising for Jeff. Matt Hardy performed pretty good too. Tully and Tony struggled a little bit, but everyone else seemed to work quite well. And we had these guys go off the script, so I figured we'll give that a try, see if that works. And I feel like it probably did. 70 rated in the end. Very good. Eddie Kingston, Eric Redbeard, and Team Taz, they were in a tag team match taking on Dustin Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Colt Cabana, and Billy. 58 rated match. Wow, pretty good. Best of the match was Brian Cage, 66. Ricky Starks, 44. That's starting to look a lot better for Ricky. I think this match will probably feature a lot of the guys that'll be in the Battle Royal. I think Brian Cage, Ricky Starks will transition over into being a part of that as well. And of course, a lot of these other guys are already heavily involved. Britt Baker talks about why she's so much better at life than Thunder Rosa. It's pretty simple. Britt Baker talking a lot of trash as she sits in her dental office with her coat on and just kind of talking about how great she is. No surprise. 45 rated promo. Moxley was in the ring about to cut a promo himself, but was immediately interrupted by Darby Allin, who confronted Moxley and said, look, what's the answer? You and me, one-on-one, is it going to happen? Jon Moxley accepted Darby Allin's challenge. 82 rated segment in the end, so there we go. Darby and Jon is official, and we will see it at Revolution for the championship. So Moxley was impressed enough. Darby Allin kind of left him with no choice but to accept. And our main event was Jeff Hardy versus Dax Harwood for 69. Jeff Hardy 69, Dax 59. We tried to really amp this up. We went for a steal of the show. Probably took a risk. Probably, I'm going to say it paid off. 69 rated match with Jeff being the best performer of the match at just 69. I'm going to say that probably elevated the match just that little bit. On paper, two great workers. Probably TW World a little bit under par for Dax Harwood. He's a tremendous wrestler, but in TW, he just doesn't quite get the performances that I think he deserves. So a little bit underwhelming in terms of his performance, but Jeff Hardy picks up the win and advances that storyline a little bit as well. 69 rated match gives us a 74 rated show overall. That is a heck of a show. That's got to be one of our best shows of all time. And I said at the start of the video, we weren't really trying to do that, but I guess the Young Bucks had a killer match, so did Park, and the main event was good enough. So overall, really good show, and a nice little progression in a few different areas. Next week, Sting, MJF, big segment happening there. Looking forward to that, and maybe something between Kenny and Cody might need to happen as well to keep that going as well. So overall, pretty good show, very happy with that. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the fallout from our shows. First up, NXT. 74 rated show as well, head to head between these two shows, and NXT probably pulled out a better show in the end. At least their main event was better. Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Keith Lee for the championship. 83 they got. Now speaking of NXT, let's circle back to them for a moment. They had their recent takeover show, so I'd like to go ahead and take a look at that and see what went down with that one. NXT TakeOver Portland had a 72 rated show, nearly 20,000 in attendance, 1 million viewers on the WWE Network. Adam Cole beating Marcel Barthel to retain the NXT title for 82. Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae for 74. Pete Dunne, Cameron Grimes beating Kushida and Keith Lee. Those are probably the only three major matches. The rest of the card, pretty lousy to be fair. So 72 for that one. So that's probably what we need to aim for. We got to try and beat 72 for our upcoming pay-per-view, of course, Revolution. And let's go ahead and take a look at our show, Dynamite. So Dynamite, as we said, 74 rated, 825,000 viewers we achieved in the end, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that 1.1 rating. Not bad at all. Popularity changes. Hopefully we get a few. Let's just start with Chris Jericho. 87 popularity. Wow. 87 now for Chris. I get it. We're kind of really going hard with all the promos and things like that, but you know, he is just on fire. It's going to be hard to take the belts off him, because I probably think about, you know, is it time to take the belts of Jericho and Guevara? I probably think yes, but geez, it's going to be hard to take that off of him. But I suppose we can transition him back into maybe being a singles. And look, Jericho and Cody is always a big match we haven't really done yet in our save anyways. Jon Moxley, 78 popularity now for him, so he's starting to get in that potential 80 range as well, which could be huge. So that's really all the popularity changes we've got at the moment. We're good to see the main event guys really promoting themselves up the card. Inner Circle Young Bucks, 78 heat at the moment. That's going pretty well. Kenny and Cody, 76. Those are probably the two ones that I feel like we could get into the 80s and just give it that little bit extra boost up. MJF and Sting is right there. It is right there to be an all-time classic. Let's have a bit more of a closer inspection of Sting's in-ring stats we haven't really, I feel, taken too much of a look at him, because you kind of been focused on the cinematic side of things, but, you know, his stats wise are pretty poor. 47 brawl, 38 technical, the only real major ones there. Basics 100, so that's great. Selling 53, not bad. Stamina 36 is probably a major problem. Athleticism, power, not great. Resilience, not great. So really, I don't know. I really don't know how it's going to go. He has been regressing every week now, every month I should say. He's brawling at once upon a time was okay. So I don't really know what sort of match he'll get. We'll get out of him. And I feel like, yeah, we might need to have Sting in more of a tagged scenario rather than a singles, but hey, it's worth a shot. MJF and Sting, it's been more promo-centric and angle-based. If the match itself kind of sucks, that's okay. MJF will win. Big win for MJF to put him over. You know, that's big. That is crucial for him, I feel. So we'll see how it happens. MJF is already gaining a lot out of it. He's got 66 popularity in the Southeast. Every month he's gaining. You know, he can get to 70 after this one. That'd be fantastic, and really would line us up for a big, well, you know, a big main event push again for MJF. He's already been world champion for a short space of time, and what's to say that you know, he doesn't get another opportunity at Jon Moxley after Revolution? You know, that's the whole reason why this feud between Sting and MJF has happened, because, you know, Sting wouldn't let him have a rematch against Moxley. So something to think about anyways. But nonetheless, we'll leave it at that. Big episode coming up. It's the go-home show for Revolution. Then it is the pay-per-view itself. And of course, we got Paul Wight. So a couple of big shows coming up next. The go-home show for Revolution. Then, of course, it is Revolution itself. And we will see Paul Wight make his debut. I'll have to have a think about it, what I want to do with Paul Wight. At this stage, I might say he might enter that Battle Royal as a surprise guest and probably win it, because, you know, he's a giant, kind of built for him to maybe win that sort of match. So that's the early stage. Could we do something bigger than that? Maybe. Should we do something bigger than that with him? I don't know. I don't know if we should really make Paul Wight the big center focus of our show, big main event push. I don't know. I would probably say no, we shouldn't, but I'll have to think about it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you join us for the next few episodes, including Revolution, not too far away. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe. Check out our Discord as well, link in the description down below. And if you play TW, you can share your own TW diary over on the forums, BrendanPlays.com/forums, and show us all about your own TW game. I'd love to check it out myself, and you can do it on the forums there. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you next time.